Welcome to Parenting 101. We have some very special guests today. If you've ever read the book To Kill a Mockingbird, we recognize these characters. If you haven't read the book, it's a story about a defense lawyer and his two children struggling to make their way through a racism-stricken Alabama. We're going to be talking to Atticus Finch, the defense lawyer, Atticus' sister Alexandra Finch, and the Finch family cook, who helps raise the children. And today's special guest, Bob Ewell, a struggling father living in the slums of Macomb. Our first guest is Atticus Finch. Come on out, Atticus. Welcome, Atticus. We're glad you can make it. So let's get right to it. We have a few questions for you regarding parenting. So do you think that you have raised Gemma Scout to the best of your abilities?
Yes, I think I did the best I could. I mean, I had my struggles with being the only parent in the household, but I had plenty of people to help me.
Speaking of being the only parent in the household, do you think Gemma Scout would have turned out differently if they both had grown up with a mother and a father?
Oh yes, I think a mother's influence would have helped them greatly. Sometimes I wonder if maybe I raised them too harsh, but a mother's touch definitely would have taught them gentleness.
So do you feel Calpurnia, your cook, acted in the place of a mother for Gemma Scout?
Oh, definitely. I think Calpurnia was an excellent mother, but she was a bit harsh. Sometimes our philosophies on parenting conflicted, but normally it went smoothly.
So in your opinion, do you have any shortcomings when it comes to parenting?
Well, I don't know if I'd call them shortcomings. I think every parent has a different way of disciplining their children. It's really up to them. I think the way I've chosen to raise Gem and Scout coincides with the ways I've chosen to discipline them. I don't really think it's not really a, I don't know. It really depends on the parent. But I don't think I have any shortcomings.
So you think other parents have shortcomings in discipline?
No. I think each parent comes with a certain way of disciplining children. It's not really a matter of not being good enough as a disciplinarian, but really being a different kind of disciplinarian.
So would you consider yourself the disciplinarian in your household?
Well, I think both Calpurnia and I share the responsibilities. Normally she'll take Scout, and I'll take Gem. That's just the way it goes.
Thank you, Atticus. After the break, we'll be speaking to Atticus' Finch sister. Welcome back to Parenting 101. If you're just tuning in, we've just spoken to Atticus Finch. Now we have Aunt Alexandra. Welcome, Alexandra.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So, Alexandra, what is your idea of a proper upbringing?
It's quite simple. Every member of the family has their proper role in the household. The lady of the house should be doing the cooking, the cleaning, and taking care of the children. The man of the house should be providing for the woman and the children, providing them with financial support. And the children should respect their elders and listen to their parents.
So how do you think it would affect Gem and Scout to be raised to these standards?
Oh, it will do them a world of good. These children are far too meddlesome. They need to be taught the rules of life in order to fit in.
So would you say your ways of parenting are better than Atticus's?
Of course it is. In all honesty, Atticus is too soft on them. They need to be disciplined in order to grow up as proper citizens of this country.
So you think Atticus as well as children should grow up?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Atticus. He just needs to discipline these kids.
Well, it was nice having you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
After these messages, we'll be back with Calpurnia. And our next guest, the Finch family cook, Calpurnia.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, Calpurnia. So let's get right to it. First question. You taught your son Zebo how to read, right?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
How did you manage it with such little resources you had?
Well, everybody has to start somewhere, and I did the best with what I could. That's just the way it's always been.
So do you think that your ways of mothering Gem and Scar are different than how their own mother would have cared for them?
I imagine so. It all depends on the mother. I guess it doesn't matter about the necessities a child needs if you're dealing with skin or racial appearance.
Interesting point. In your opinion, do you think that Scout would have turned out different than if their own mother had been there?
Yes, I believe Miss Scout would have changed. She is a lot... Miss Scout. She has a lot of freedom. She's not applied by a lot of rules, but she is disciplined when she needs it. If her mother would have been there, I'm not sure if she would have been disciplined to a more extreme point or if she would have been more lenient on the rules.
Do you think the Finches as part of your family?
Why, yes I do. They've always treated me as best they could. They've never seen me as just the cook or the help around the house.
Well, thank you for coming, Calpurnia. It was nice meeting you. Welcome back to Parenting 101. If you're just tuning in, we're discussing the parenting roles in the book To Kill a Mockingbird. We've spoken to Atticus Finch, Alexandra Finch, and we just spoke with Calpurnia, and now today's special guest, Bob Yule. Thanks for coming, Bob. How are you today?
I'm alright.
So, let's cut right to the chase. We have a question from our viewers, and we'd be very glad if you could answer them.
Alright.
Your children are workers, they help around the house, they don't go to school, and don't have any friends. Is that the way you want them to grow up?
Of course. I need all the help I can get. Them not having any friends is their problem.
So would you say you neglect your children?
Sometimes children need to learn to live on their own. You call it neglect, I call it parenting.
Oh, alright. So how exactly do you discipline your children?
Depends on how the child acts. If it's something really bad, swift beating will do. If something just minor, well, usually swift beating the way to go.
So do you feel any regret ever for beating your children?
No, that's why I was raised, and that's how they'll be raised if I have anything to say about it.
So you don't feel any regret for beating your children? Even your daughter?
Nope, never.
So why do you think this form of discipline works?
They learn quicker. You can spend all day telling them what to do and what not to do, but really, they just need to learn the hard way.
So how's growing up with a mother's love affected your children?
It hasn't. They'd be the same with or without it. I know I haven't changed since she died.
Well, I think that's all for today. Thank you for coming, Bob.
Thank you. Mr. Yule, if you please.
Okay. Well, that's all for today, folks. Tune in next time.